Before I start the main topic, I need you guys, I want my single fathers, single dads, dudes that are just sloppy, messy in relationships. Basically, you guys who don't have a problem getting laid, let this go in one ear and out the other. Fortunately, YouTube demographic says that's not most of you. So this is probably going to hurt, guys. And tonight, what I want to talk about is how the red pill content that you're watching has turned you into a fucking loser. There has rapidly become a dire situation in this country where the internet and reality are now intertwined. Once two distinct spaces, the two have merged together over the last 6 years, creating new conflicts and widening existing divisions amongst American society, specifically between men and women as it relates to dating and relationships. These factors, combined with economic turmoil and a hyper-materialistic society such as ours, has created an issue in our country named the male loneliness crisis. Now, I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a relationship expert. None of that. I'm a normal guy who got lucky. Marriage going on 18 years, 2 children in high school, pets, and a mortgage. I'm going to be entering a new phase in my life in a couple years where we are becoming empty nesters and having conversations with wifey about financial plans or major renovation projects on our home have become more common as the months go by. Due to rising costs in every aspect of our lives, we are considering home additions due to the reality that our kids might have to stay with us longer for the first part of their adult lives. And that's okay. It's no fault of their own. They came in, there's a dysfunctional country. My marriage is like anyone else's marriage at this point, guys. It's been up and down, sometimes chaotic and unpredictable, epic and memorable, but mostly a positive experience I wouldn't trade for the world. A journey I don't want to end until I bite the dust due to old age. So when I first heard about this male loneliness crisis a few years ago, I was intrigued and was looking around YouTube and such to get more information on this issue. I'm used to navigating YouTube because I'm always watching how-to videos for small projects around the house. Obviously, based on my limited experience, most of the guys I know are either married, in relationships, or just messy individuals when it comes to women. The issues of guys having trouble staying in relationships or wavering commitment in marriage has always been a topic in a ton of communities since I can remember. So the conversation moving to the digital space wasn't surprising. What I didn't expect was the amount of guys not even making it to the relationship stage. Commitment issues is one thing. Not even being able to get a date is something else entirely. Now, this is where I have to point out that historically, the majority of men don't get married or procreate and all the fun qualifiers. That being said, in modern times, the rhetoric surrounding men struggling lines up with the fact that even I started noticing less guys out and about. Whether it's shopping or other public spaces, there is a noticeable decrease in the amount of men in public. It seems whatever red pill content the men were consuming hasn't made it any better. If anything, it's worse. So tonight we're talking about you, the average red pill viewer. What unfortunately has become your typical American male loser. That's you, DL. I'm going on a monologue right now. I'm not talking about you, bro. So
I was about to say, like that's you, DL. Like, what happened?
But yeah, guys, that's for you watching. That's you, your typical American red pill content viewer. Somehow, you haven't been on dates in months. Your phone is drier than the Sahara Desert, and you can't even make friends because for whatever reason, other dudes don't even want to hang out with you. Never mind women. Your social life is so pathetic that you decided to make some red pill content creator your digital daddy. You sit behind a computer screen laughing with your favorite podcast bro as he insults a bunch of OnlyFan models who are only there for internet exposure. The women you're laughing at are also the same women who would have you eating out the palm of their hand if you were given the chance. The reality is that you and the other viewers are gonna subscribe to their page as soon as the stream's over. The reality is that you also watch red pill content because the top creators are surrounded by women you wish you could be with. And that live stream is the closest you'll ever get to a group of pretty women in one location. And no, y'all wouldn't just smash. You would date these women. You would put a ring on it. By the way, somebody's putting the rings on these OnlyFans models. Somebody subscribed to their page, paying monthly, hoping she notices them. You specifically, you would jump all over that chance. You would turn that hoe into a housewife if you could. And what's crazy is there's dudes who have successfully pulled it off. We talked about it yesterday. But you're not that dude. You haven't been that dude, have you? You're not capable of that. The things you're currently capable isn't even good enough to elevate your own individual lifestyle, which is one of the reasons you went down the red pill path in the first place. But as we can see, whatever lessons you learned being in that space hasn't helped. Want to know why? Want to know how I know it hasn't helped? Because your favorite red pill creator has been in this space for a few years and their relationship status also hasn't changed, just like yours. Literally years of the same tired ass talking points, no evolution, no growth, just stale gender war after gender war topics over and over and over. Despite all the women getting put in their place on social media by these red pill creators, you still haven't gotten laid. The women that do get put up on a pedestal by the red pill guys also haven't shown an ounce of interest in you. Even the pygmies don't want you speaking to them. You're so desperate for attention that you really think the bartender likes you or that the stripper was really into you, because that's the closest you have come to consensual contact with a woman in a long ass time. Hell, your digital daddy told you that every guy essentially has to pay for sex when it comes to dating, right? Even if that was remotely true, you're still too much of a broke ass loser to be part of that dating pool, because somehow women working has directly prevented you from getting an education and a career. You don't get any attention from normal women, and you can't get any attention from women online with mental health problems. Other than maybe your coworkers, the only women you speak to on a regular basis are the ones in your family. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't want to talk to you all that much, seeing as nobody else wants to. The few red pill content creators that have good intentions and want to actually help you better yourself, those channels don't get propped up by you. They don't have pretty streamers and OnlyFans models lined up on their show all the time. They don't have the OnlyFans models sitting there looking dumb, being asked gotcha questions for 3 hours at a time. But we all know the truth, right? The ones who actually can give you solid feedback on how you can operate better in life will be ignored because you've already convinced yourself that it's someone else's fault for why you can't get a date. And your favorite digital daddy feeds you confirmation bias after confirmation bias, telling you those women online, by telling those women online they're the problem. You and the other viewers eat that up all night, even though your digital daddy is trying to smash those same women right after the stream is over. But you're listening to IG models about only wanting wanting men with six-figure salaries and won't accept anything less has you completely ignoring the actual realities of the world. Quite simply, if a woman likes you and finds you interesting, it's going to cost nothing to spend time with her. Those preferences, like salary requirements, instantly become suggestions if she likes you, if they even remember the standards they had set in the first place. She doesn't care if your crib is messy, if you still live with your mom, even if you are a financial train wreck. Hell, we see women in this country every day fighting over broke ass men, even some with children from multiple women. We see plenty of women crash out and show loyalty for dudes rotting in prison as we speak. The preferences you hear women state only apply to the man who really never stood a chance from the jump. You. So if you find yourself talking with a woman who seems to be overly interested in what you have and what lifestyle you can provide her, that should be a red flag that you need to readily acknowledge and keep it moving. Bad women do exist, and you have to keep your head on a swivel, guys. But if running into gold diggers and other women with unrealistic standards makes up the vast majority of your dating experience, the problem is you. Did you ever consider that the creators you're watching have negatively affected how you view and talk to women? Somehow, you're claiming that these guys are giving you great advice. And yet, other than a handful of examples of other guys who have had success after listening to the content, for you, shit's gotten worse. And by the way, there's more of you than there ever been before now. A bunch of red pill losers. They're everywhere. It's a fucking pandemic in America. No wonder the elites keep trying to bring in migrants. A big chunk of available men in this country are just straight up undesirable. And that includes you, bro. Not pointing at you, Uncle Jeff. You know I'm going on a diatribe right out. We see your buddies who call themselves passport bros failing miserably overseas. You know how much of a loser you gotta be to get rejected by women in impoverished countries? You're so trash that the visa ain't even worth it for them. Damn, son, that's just fucking pathetic. It's something about how you operate in life that attracts those kind of women. And what's worse is that they aren't even into you. That's why the standard seems so sky high to begin with. The standard doesn't exist for every guy, just you. You can make as much money as you want, be as physically fit as you can be, wear the best clothing, or hope certain demographics get kicked out the country just to increase your odds, but the women you're pursuing still won't choose you. She can have 2 or 3 baby daddies, finally come to her senses, even though it might be too late, and she still won't choose you. She could be an independent woman, hyper focused on her career, that hits whatever stupid ass wall you red pillars talk about, and given a redo in her life, she still wouldn't choose you. Hell, bro, even the dudes that women go out here and settle with had at least met some of the expectations. But you, there were no expectations for you because you were never a serious choice. As you currently exist, you aren't worth choosing in any scenario. No matter how bad it gets in these extreme hypothetical situations you love coming up with as a way to trash women, she still isn't gonna date you because in her eyes, you're still a fucking loser. And the women who would be interested in you are the modern women you spend all day talking shit about. You know, the educated, independent woman. The one who doesn't need a man, she wants a man. The one who wants you based on your character, not the materialism you can or can't provide. The women who don't give a fuck about you playing video games because they also play video games. And who also want to save money and not run your pockets because it's too expensive in this country right now. But you're not interested in her. Why? Multiple reasons. But the main reason is because you can't even name a redeeming quality about you that doesn't revolve around money. How do you act in challenging situations? Are you reliable? Do you have empathy? Do you treat women like grown adults or like property? Who are you and who do you hope to be in the future? If things go south, will you be there? Those questions put you in a defensive posture because it's foreign to you. You either can't answer those questions or worse, won't, because you know you ain't shit. And the women that really care about those qualities, the majority of women, they don't look or speak like any of the glorified porn stars you watch on stream nonstop. Did you ever consider that these content creators are ruining your perception? Of course you haven't, because considerations of others is some beta male shit, right? You claim that feminism and technology ruined modern relationships, yet the fact that millions of men who designed and used the technology that has caused the most harm in our society is hardly ever brought up by you, if at all. The country from the top down is dysfunctional under our watch, not women. We men have molded society into what it is today. Every US president has been a man. All but one vice president has been a man. Most of our Fortune 500 companies have been and are currently ran by men. The US Congress is ran by the majority of men. State, local government, men. You see, the man that raised me, my dad, taught me to take responsibility for my actions, to be accountable for the things in my direct control. Growing up trying to live by those standards, by those lessons, I noticed the biggest threat to meritocracy at the micro level, as well as a free and fair market at the macro level, will always be men like me, as we have always been the greatest threat to competition. You can see it at the highest levels today. Our pro-business capitalists do nothing but consolidate companies in order to control the market, not compete in it. Every tech startup is essentially has business models based around the hope that they get bought out, lacking any sort of long-term vision. That's men doing that, encouraging that. That's just one example of the kind of climate men have created in this country that we exist in today. And men specifically like you, not you, Anton, I'm going on a diatribe. Today's red pill loser has cheered that horse shit on for years. While average American men's life expectancy drops, suicide rates climb, drug addiction skyrockets, job losses pile up, the infrastructure crumbles, you decided to blame all of it on DEI, feminism, wokeness, the LBGT, and continue to be hyper-focused on trying to police women and their alleged conduct. And yet, you still have the fucking audacity to in another conversation or in another stream, claim our country isn't focused on the important issues. Well, no shit. You aren't focused on the important issues either. And you voted for people who reflect your values. You don't say shit about our crumbling roads and bridges or any structural issues like healthcare. All you do is defend and uphold some vague image or stereotype about how masculine men are supposed to act without actually helping to solve one fucking thing in our country. The American man today is overly obsessed with culture wars, and that problem was championed by red pill losers such as yourself. Let me be clear. Obviously, we as individual men are limited in what we can do for the country at the macro level and all that fun stuff. The point is that under our watch and those before us as American men, from who we vote for to how we operate on a day-to-day level, this country has gone to shit. Women did not get us into $39 trillion in debt as a nation. Men did. They haven't been responsible for getting us into every single war in our history. Men did. Women weren't responsible for why factories started shutting down and going overseas back in the 80s. Men were. Women aren't the reason we don't have great healthcare in this country. Men are. In today's world, one of the major reasons you're struggling in life because there's never been an easier time to call someone out on their bullshit. People who actually have time to do their research roll their eyes every time you open your mouth about just about anything. And let's be honest here. Nobody really wants to be around someone that's just full of shit all the time. Dudes just wanting to be homies don't want to be around people like that. You already know women don't want to be around dudes like that, at least not from a romantic perspective. And hell, guess what, red pill guy? You don't want to be around guys that's full of shit either. Yet you still haven't come to terms with the fact that you're the guy who's full of shit. Can the red pill losers like yourself change for the better? Be decent guys and not be full of shit? Absolutely. I believe in you. But it takes multiple steps. One, looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, how did I get to this point in the first place? It also requires you to really evaluate the red pill community and the type of creators you listen to. You should be seeking out information to better yourself for yourself, not someone else that doesn't exist in this moment in time. If your goal in that community is to get advice on long-term relationship and marriage, then watch creators who share that same goal. Don't listen to creators who have clearly told you they have no intentions on settling down in the near future. Make sure you aren't elevating those creators whose whole gimmick is to shit on IG models and OnlyFans models all day. If you are being honest when you tell people you're looking for real conversations and advice, don't watch guys who clearly play the I'm just a comedian and this is entertainment every time shit gets dicey. Stop claiming the guy running a sex cam operation in Romania is giving you sound long-term relationship advice, because he isn't. Listen, guys, it's easy to shit on all of you when all your talking points and discussing in real life situations come from 35-year-old and older podcast bros who take absolutely nothing serious and say a bunch of divisive, hateful shit disguised as edgy jokes. When you open your mouth, it's so easy to tell you only know the headlines because your favorite red pill creator only read the headlines. And you have super vague analysis on topic he probably shouldn't have touched to begin with. So if you don't want to be a red pill loser, then you need to actually follow the advice your community loves to tell women. Choose better.